Hey everyone. Hi. I just want to welcome everybody to a very special Shabbat evening. We're happy to welcome back into our community Adina Eichmann. I think most all of you know her. Adina, you might remember as Amber, was our cantoral soloist here at this community for many years until she left in 2022. So Adina now is an incoming third-year rabbinical student at the Reconstructive Seminary in Philadelphia. She's here for a summer visit to Bozeman, and so we are very happy to have her come and celebrate another Shabbat service with us. We look forward to hearing some of the Torah that she has acquired in the years since she left Bozeman. So, welcome home.
Thank you, Sharon. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for the warm welcome back. And I do feel like I'm home. Bozeman is a very special place in my heart. So let's start together tonight by singing a nigun. And I just want to say thank you again to Beth Shalom for having me tonight. Just such a special opportunity to get to be with you all. So before we go on to our service, I just wanted to point out that there are 2 exit doors in case we need to use them as emergency exits. There's one behind the curtains behind you, and then the others are in the community room. We won't use the main doors as emergency exits. Is there anything else I should say about that? Is Lynn here? No. Okay. All right. And bathrooms are, see, I'm all, I haven't seen this, my first time seeing the new building. Bathrooms are at the front of the building. Go towards the front where the 2 entrance doors are. Thank you. All right. So I would like to invite Marnie up to light the candles for us and to honor Marnie for running sound tonight for us for the first time. Thank you. That's okay. I'll just... Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tziva shel Shabbat. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. So we will turn to page 136 for Psalm 29, and we bring in Shabbat with these psalms, which are, they're all about praise. And sometimes it can be hard to say these words when we're not really feeling them, when we're not in the mood to praise. And I think this is an invitation for us to notice the things in our week that perhaps were little glimmers of beauty or light, even if it was hard to find some of them. So I invite you to just take a second to just really arrive here and sink into Shabbat and think about perhaps some of the moments that brought you a little bit of light this week. And maybe also the moments where your heart is needing a little bit of something and what you could give it this Shabbat. Mizmor leDavid, Havu l'Adonai b'nei Lim, Havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kavod shemo hishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, kol Adonai b'koach, kol Adonai behadar, kol Adonai shober arazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei halvanon, vayarkidem kemo hegel levanon, besiryon kemo benzereim, kol Adonai chotzev lachavotesh, kol Adonai yachil midbar, yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, kol Adonai yechol el yalosh, ay, 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 There is a midrash that it asks, why did God bless Shabbat? And Rabbi Berechiah says, because it has no partner. The first day of the week has the second, the third has the fourth, and the fifth has the sixth, but Shabbat has no partner. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai taught that Shabbat pleaded with the Holy One, saying, everyone else has a partner, but I have none. And God answered, saying, the community of Israel will be your partner. So I want to invite you to keep that in mind as we turn to page the page that Lecha Dodi is on, which I will find in a moment. Oh, 138, thank you. So Lecha Dodi is this poem envisioning Shabbat as a bride, as a partner. So we're welcoming our partner in. And we'll sing verses 1, 2, 5, and we'll rise on verse 9. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad hishmi'anu el hamiuchad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad l'shem u'tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'necha ki hi mekor habracha. Berosh mikedem netzucha sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Hitoreri ki ba'orech kumi ori. Uri shir daberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha uv'tzola. Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Lecha dodi likrat kalai yadadai 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 b'nei Shabbat mekavela. Page 140. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Ulizamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot l'Adonai. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Lehagid baboker chastecha. Ve'emunatcha Tov lehodot l'Adonai. A blessing by Rabbi Leila Gal Berner, who's a graduate of the Reconstructionist Rabbinical College where I go to school. May the Shekhinah, the holy presence that brings forth the female in the divine, spread her wings over you and protect you. May her light shine upon you with compassion, and may her countenance illuminate your lives with wholeness and peace. And I invite you all to rise in body or spirit as you're able for the Barchu. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam va'ed. You may be seated. Page 148. Let's read together, page 149. Let's read together at the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 150. Ahavat olam, ahavat olam, ahavat olam, ahavtanu, ahavat olam, ahavat olam. תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, b'shivtecha b'veitecha, u'v'lechtecha b'derech, u'v'shochbecha, u'v'kumecha, u'kshartam le'od al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, u'chtavtam. Amzuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'item kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lachem l'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet. Page 157. Let's read together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Page 158. Turn to page 160 and ask that this time of Shabbat, or really any evening, be a time of peace when we can exhale, really, after long week and unplug a little bit and tap into the things that are most important to us and reconnect with ourselves and our loved ones and the divine, and that we will be protected. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu, uvoeinu, lechaim u'shalom, me'ata ve'ad olam. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Page 162, Vishamru, this special prayer for Shabbat. I wanted to share with you, there's this interesting word in this prayer, vayinafash, the very last word. And the root of that is nefesh, which it means soul. It's like one of the words for soul. And it's hard to translate this word. It looks like the prayer book here is translating it as God ceased from work and was refreshed. So that's one way to translate it. And I think if you wanted to sort of take it literally, you could translate it as God resouled, because of the word nefesh, soul. So what does it mean to resoul ourselves, S-O-U-L? I think Shabbat is this invitation for us to renew our souls, not just rest physically, which is, of course, a thing that we can do, a beautiful way to honor Shabbat, but what does it mean to rest your soul? Does it mean taking a break from social media for a day or even an hour? Does it mean taking a break from the news? Does it mean calling a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while that's been on your mind and you've just been meaning to reach out? Does it mean sitting in silence and just sort of letting yourself digest a little bit spiritually? But whatever that is for you, Shabbat, I think, is this beautiful call to, it's almost countercultural, to unplug and to really take some time to get in touch with your soul. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shvi, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, Shabbat v'inafash, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam v'ridolam. We'll move into our silent Amidah, sort of the peak of our service. And as we were praying Vishamru, I was thinking about other ways to re-soul. And one of them was, I'm going to go up to Highlight tomorrow. And this is such a beautiful place, Bozeman, to get in touch with our souls by going out into nature and reconnecting with a sense of awe and wonder. Those are holy things, and that might even be your connection with the divine. I mean, for me, it really is. So just wanted to share that too as an option. If you think of any other options for how you might reconnect with your soul this Shabbat, let me know afterwards. But as we're sort of getting to this peak of the service and really taking some time to go inward, maybe that's an opportunity, an invitation to think more about it. We'll pray the first part on page 164 together, and then move through. You're welcome to use the prayer book. You could also use the themes as a guide, the themes of connecting with ancestors in the first prayer, connecting with sort of, again, this awe and wonder of the world, what's greater than us, and the way that the seasons turn, and then connecting with holiness, and so on and so forth. So you can use it as a silent meditation of any kind. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and then when you're finished, you're welcome to sit down. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Vihiu leratzon nimrefi, page 180. Vehegion libi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri vegoali. Ose shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. You may know that yesterday was Tisha B'Av. That is the day on the Jewish calendar that marks the destruction of the ancient temples in Jerusalem and other tragedies in Jewish history. It's a day of grief. But sometimes it's hard to grieve for the temples, which we have little connection to besides their descriptions in the Tanakh, and maybe we've visited or seen pictures of the Western Wall in Jerusalem, which is one of the retaining walls of the temple that's still standing. And so I'd like to help us reframe Tisha B'Av in a way that hopefully gives us some more contemporary meaning, and also talk about its meaning in the context of the Jewish calendar and moving from grief to comfort. This Shabbat is actually called the Shabbat of Consolation. So we live in a society that doesn't do grief very well. But I think Jewish tradition does. For example, it invites us to honor deep losses in our lives by sitting Shiva for 7 days and modifying our lives, the things we do and don't do for a year after the loss of somebody close to us. And we have a whole day on Tisha B'Av to make space for all kinds of grief. Collectively, this can be a day of mourning for more recent calamities like the Holocaust, the Tree of Life shooting in Pittsburgh, and October 7th. It's an opportunity to honor personal loss as well, especially if we haven't been able to. Jewish tradition doesn't want us to get stuck in grief, though. Rabbi Alan Liu, in his book, This is Real and You Are Completely Unprepared, he frames Tisha B'Av as the beginning of the high holiday season. Now, I know you thought you had some time, but it is coming early this year. He says that Tisha B'Av is a destruction of not just literal walls, but the walls we build around ourselves, the facades we put up, the identities we construct. And from this point of Tisha B'Av until the end of Sukkot, we are in a process of turning inward and seeing what's left after the walls have crumbled, after our walls have crumbled, who we really are, confronting the things inside that we've tried to protect or deny or make excuses for. Alan Liu says that the journey of this whole high holiday process ends with Sukkot, which is also called Zman Simchatenu, the time of our happiness, which only comes about when we've really cleaned house, so to speak, and stripped down to the core of who we are and what really matters. And that's where we find true joy. In other words, we have to confront the depths of our pain in order to reach the heights of joy. The ancient Israelites were all too familiar with grief, and many of our sacred texts are responses to grief, trying to make sense of the horrors they experienced during siege, the destruction of the first temple, and displacement in the early 6th century BCE. Scholars agree that Eicha, the Book of Lamentations, which we read on Tisha B'Av, was written after 586 BCE, the destruction of the first temple, and also that 2nd Isaiah was written in the exile in Babylonia, also after the destruction of the first temple. And our Haftarah for this Shabbat, the first Shabbat after Tisha B'Av, is from this collection of 2nd Isaiah, which we can read with the experience of the destruction and exile in the background. The Haftarah begins like this. Nachamu, nachamu, ami, yomar Elohechem, dabru alev Yerushalayim, V'kir'u eleha ki mal'a tzva'a ki nirtza avona ki lakcha miyad Adonai ki flaim b'chol chatoteha kol koreh Bamidbar, Panu derech Adonai, Yashru ba'arava, Misila leloheinu. Be comforted, my people, your God will say. Speak to the heart of Jerusalem and proclaim to her that she has fulfilled her service, because God has accepted her iniquity, because she has received double for all her sins from the hand of Adonai. A voice calls, "In the wilderness, clear a path for Adonai, smooth out in the desert a highway for our God." Isaiah comes in after all of this devastation and says, yes, you all messed up, but you paid your dues. And though we all may feel that God has abandoned us, God is here to comfort and restore us. I personally, me, Adina speaking, not Isaiah, I personally don't believe in the idea that God punishes us, and certainly not in the terrible ways that the ancient Israelites experienced, or some of the ways that we experience. But this is one way that the ancient Israelites tried to make sense of what they went through. They were trying to figure out how to survive and carry on after tragedy, just like we do, especially in these times in our nation and our world. And I want to mention the two people who were violently attacked in New York City yesterday, one of whom was Jewish. It's okay to be mad at God, especially when bad things happen. Isaiah is dreaming not only about God forgiving the people, but about the people forgiving God too, the teshuvah going both ways. It can take some time to get to this place, but we have 8 weeks till Yom Kippur. We can start now on this Shabbat of consolation. So perhaps when we make our own path for God in our hearts, we let go of blaming God. We might realize that God maybe isn't the cause of suffering, but is with us in our suffering. The way that the Talmud describes a divine voice cooing like a dove, heard within the ruins of Jerusalem and mourning with us. And that may lead us to feel a sense of comfort, and then maybe even a sense of fortification to engage in tikkun olam. One of my favorite sections of Talmud is this discussion about where the Messiah is and how to recognize this person. It goes like this. Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said to Elijah, who is the precursor to the Messiah, kind of ushering the Messiah in, he said, "When will the Messiah come?" Elijah said to him, "Go ask him." Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said, "Where is he sitting?" Elijah said to him, "At the entrance of the city of Rome." Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi asked him, "And what is his identifying sign by which I can recognize him?" Elijah answered, "He sits among the poor who suffer from illnesses, and all of them untie their bandages and tie them all at once. But the Messiah unties one bandage and ties one at a time." The Messiah says, "Perhaps I will be needed to serve to bring about the redemption. Therefore, I will never tie more than one bandage at a time so that I will not be delayed." The Messiah, this symbol of redemption, is not above the poor and infirmed. She or he or they are sitting amongst the poor and infirmed, maybe even wounded himself. And the only way to identify the Messiah amongst these people is how she wraps the bandages. It's something very mundane and hard to distinguish. It can be hard to feel comfort from God, however we conceive of that. The words nachamu, nachamu, ami that I chanted before can be translated as passive, be comforted, my people. Or they can be translated more directly as a command, comfort, my people. God commanding someone to comfort God's people, but who is God commanding to do the comforting? Perhaps it's the Messiah, who is fully human in Jewish tradition, offering comfort by wrapping his fellow humans' bandages. Maybe nachamu, nachamu, ami is God commanding us to comfort each other, to bind each other's wounds. And maybe then that sense of comfort that we feel from the care of others will be the spark of divinity in our lives. The comfort we're offered from Isaiah, however it shows up in our lives, can accompany us through our grief, help us do teshuvah, return. Maybe not a return to a grand temple, but to what could never be destroyed in the first place, our capacity to love, our creativity, our resilience. Am Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom. And as we think about this comfort coming from binding each other's wounds, let me make a little bit of space to think of those who are in need of healing. And I'd like to invite anybody who's thinking of somebody who needs physical, mental, spiritual healing to share their name if you would like to, and I'll just pass my hand around the room. The Misha Berach is on 371. shebeirach avotenu mikor habracha li'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. We remember those who we've lost in the last year, and those whose yahrzeits are around this time. This community is remembering Ed Bronsky, Loretta Cole, Dan Laurie, Morton Meyerson, and Bob Wild. And I'd like to invite anyone else who is remembering somebody today to share their name and to rise if you are comfortable.
My cousin Larry Wexler.
Mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei, ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'zman kariv v'imru, Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya, Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitdaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing. You may be seated. We will welcome in the angels or messengers of Shabbat on page 627. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Bimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Before we wrap up our service, I just want to say thank you so much again for having me. It's just such an honor and a joy to be here, to get to spend a Shabbat evening with all of you whom I miss, and who this place, again, just means a lot to me. And I think of you all a lot. And this is a place where that had really nurtured me into the path I'm on. So I'm very grateful. Thank you so much, Marnie, for running sound. Thank you, Lynn, for the security, and Sharon, and Marnie also, and Suzanne for setting up Kiddush. I said Sharon, right? And just thank you all so much for coming, and a shout out to Rabbi Sonia and all the folks at camp. I hope they're having a great time, and just thank you so much. Looking forward to chatting with you more at the Oneg, and we'll close out by singing Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu together on page 657. Do you all still do a rise and a hug thing sometime? All right, if you want to. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Shabbat Shalom. All right, let's all gather for Kiddush. Yeah. Okay, we're going to do a short Kiddush because I couldn't find the page number. So, sorry. Okay, great. Just wait for folks to grab their drinks. Does anyone else need? Great. Oh, yes, please, go ahead. And we're still streaming, so folks at home, if you're listening still, you can grab Kiddush as well. All right. Yeah. Good stuff. All right.
Did everybody get one?
Are you wine or juice? Wine. There you go.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. L'chaim. Okay. Wild crumb?
Yes.
The best.
You used to fetch it.
Yeah. That's right.
Cody buys them ahead of time.
Very smart. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. I don't know which way to go. I'll go this way.
Up to you, you're the rabbi.
Oh no, so much pressure.
All those big rabbinical decisions.
Yeah, I know.
Are there any other announcements you want to make, or do we turn the live stream off?
Yeah, I put it in.
We're good. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking about, because I put it in the.
Hi. Good to see you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry.